Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article here from Fierce Network. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So, could T Mobile possibly be facing a bump in the road? Could there be some issues with the US Cellular deal? Let's check out the article. So, old issues are haunting US Cellular's latest spectrum deals. So, very interesting. Let's take a look here. So it looks like the FCC is officially reviewing the T-Mobile's proposed deal to buy US Cellular and about 30% of its spectrum. Whistleblowers are raising the red flag in the FCC proceeding, saying US Cellular obtained some of its spectrum through shell companies. T-Mobile and US Cellular say their objections are unrelated to the merits of this transaction and should be disregarded. So it's an interesting situation. Most analysts and sources that are cited in this or quoted in this article are saying that this has no impact on the deal itself or shouldn't stop the government from approving the deal, and anything else can be handled outside of the deal. Whatever context they want to put it in, it can be handled outside of the deal. So even the lawyers that are against the US Cellular selling the assets, even they are saying in this article that they believe US Cellular customers will be better off with T-Mobile, but they want US Cellular to be held accountable for the way in which it acquired spectrum and for the FCC to hold off on its decision until the courts rule. That's a bit of a negative, right? If that were the case, then T-Mobile is going to sit in limbo while this is figured out until the deal's approved. I mean, timing is everything in the wireless industry, right? In wireless, 6 months is a long time. There's a lot of stuff that can happen in between that time. So you kind of don't want this to extend any further, right? You want it, for an example, the Sprint merger was expected to be approved in 2019. It didn't get approved till April 2020. So you really don't want that to happen again with this type of deal, right? So US Cellular took advantage of an important program meant for small business, undermining the integrity of the program as well as the FCC spectrum auction. That's what the claim is. Since they first filed an informal opposition statement with the FCC and the T-Mobile proceeding, Verizon also announced a $1 billion purchase of a portion of US Cellular spectrum. So the lawyers aren't against T-Mobile and Verizon making the purchases. They want US Cellular to be held accountable for its wrongdoing. So again, we do not object to T-Mobile or Verizon as purchasers of the US Cellular spectrum, but we oppose US Cellular's attempt to sell off its valuable assets, including spectrum currently held by its assigned entities, before it is held accountable. That's their only concern. Is the deal can happen, they can sell to T-Mobile, they can sell to Verizon, but they want US Cellular to be held accountable before that. I don't know if that pushes the deal back, if that does, if that is taken into consideration. But as you can see, nothing to see here. In response to Fierce's questions, US Cellular referred to to this filing where US Cellular and T-Mobile say the objection filed by O'Connor and Liebman is wholly unrelated to the merits of the transfer of control from US Cellular to T-Mobile. So it looks like all systems are go. This is a quote from an analyst. I don't think the filings will affect the ultimate FCC resolution of the transaction, said New Street Research analyst and former high-ranking FCC official Blair Levin, noting that whatever the merits of the complaint, they can be addressed outside the context of whether T-Mobile can purchase the assets of US Cellular. Again, that can still be handled. So it should not push back the deal just because this other issue is going on. It's not that the DE issues are a thing of the past, he said. Rather, I don't think the FCC will view those issues as relevant to larger public interest analysis it will do in reviewing the transaction. And I don't think the FCC will wait for the courts to resolve the specific issues raised in the formal complaints to resolve the transaction, because if you're familiar with the court system, it can take a long time to go through the courts. So I fully expect this deal to be approved on time. At least that's what the hope is. And then whatever the courts decide later on, I guess U.S. Cellular will be held accountable for that. And I think that's how it should be done. It should be reviewed and decided on outside of this deal. This deal, like T-Mobile and U.S. Cellular are saying, it's unrelated to the merits of this transaction and should be disregarded by the FCC. So now I'm wondering if this deal has already been given the green light by the DOJ, like kind of what happened with Metronet and Lumos, where there wasn't a second letter request, so it may have already passed the DOJ. We'll wait for further updates. I'm speculating here, but it looks like the FCC now is in the final stages, perhaps, of the review process. I am hearing they're trying to get this closed as quickly as possible. So removing, if they need to purchase a little bit less spectrum to not hit any spectrum screens, T-Mobile's willing to do so. U.S. Cellular is willing to also work with T-Mobile to come up with a plan to perhaps get this to the finish line even quicker. So it's going to get interesting. Stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.